So let's dive into part two of the story, which is basically what I discovered. Right. So I discovered something called the Insured Retirement Plan, and it was not quite as popular as the TFSA, the RRSP, and all the other non-registered accounts that I encountered when I was in my ultimate search mode. The Insured Retirement Plan was quite unpopular, was quite unique, and I'll tell you exactly all about it, right? It's basically an hybrid of permanent life insurance. So this plan, in simple words, is secure a guaranteed tax-free lump sum for your loved ones from the moment you set it up and for as long as you live. And then on the other hand, the investment portion is growing and compounding tax sheltered to provide you with a comfortable retirement lifestyle, right? So whatever happens, you're covered. So when I found this, I'm like, wow, this makes a lot of sense because what's the worst that could happen? There are two major risks as far as life and living is concerned. It's either one passes away too soon or one lives too long, right? And if one passes away too soon, there is a guaranteed lump sum tax-free paid to one's loved ones. And then if one lives long, there's this lifetime investment that one could access and could give one like access to cash for their entire lifetime. I was like, this is simply amazing. And I couldn't wait to set it up for myself and for my family. But there's more. Apart from the basic details of how it works, there are like about 11 different amazing benefits to this plan that I just discovered. Right. First things first, it pays out the guaranteed tax-free lump sum. Like I said, whenever life happens, a lump sum is paid out to one's loved ones and they are able to enjoy that money as if the owner of the plan was still alive or was still with them. Also, provide a tax-free lifetime income for retirement. I mean, who wants to run out of money in retirement? Who doesn't want to have a lifetime income? I definitely want to have a lifetime income. I don't want to depend on my kids or the government when I'm retiring. I want to be able to travel the world, cruise, and have a great life. And if this plan could help me to achieve that, that was absolutely a welcome idea. Also, it provides mortgage protection. I mean, almost everyone who has settled in Canada has bought a home or is planning to buy a home. And whenever you get a home, you're kind of upsold to get mortgage insurance. But with this plan, I could actually have my mortgage also covered, which made absolute sense. Then it has live in inbuilt living benefits. Like you can actually have enjoy it while you're alive. Like you can have access to your funds, to your cash while you're alive. It wasn't just all about planning for whenever you leave the world. Right. Also, there's flexibility of contribution, which also seemed quite cool as far as I was concerned, because I could increase my contribution whenever my cash flow is surplus, have a lot of money flowing around. I could reduce it as well if cash flow is a little bit tight. Maybe I'm doing a lot of projects at the same time and there's not much money going around. I could reduce my contribution. And in worst case scenario, I could actually take a break and not contribute for a while. I mean, that seemed really flexible and that was definitely very welcoming, right? I also found out that it had tax-free investment growth. So as far as the money was within the plan, it was sheltered from taxes. So as my money is growing in the investment component, I don't have to worry about paying taxes on it. And anything that could help you save on taxes in this country is definitely a no-brainer, right? So there was tax-free investment growth. There's also bonuses paid out to each investors every single year from the second year of having the plan in force and for as long as one lives. And these bonuses are different from the normal ROI that the investment portion is making in the market. Right. So that's some extra free money, some Jara coming in along the way. Also, there's creditor protection. With creditor protection, I don't know, when people pass away in Canada, the court would rule that their asset be made public so that all their creditors can lay claims on their asset. And then, so all the money they have in savings, in TFSAs, or no, in savings, in check-ins, in their mutual funds and stuff like that, will be made public so that their creditors can lay claims. It's after all the creditors have been settled, that's when the true heirs will now be able to claim their estate. Right. But then I discovered that the money sitting down right here in the insured retirement plan is protected from creditors. It can be used to settle the estates and all those other things. It's not involved in probate. It goes straight into the hands of the named beneficiary. And that was really cool as far as I was concerned. right? Serves as a source of future emergency fund. Yes, the investment portion is actually growing as a long-term investment and like growing towards one's retirement. However, if one had to access money way before retirement, say in the third year, in the fourth year, one could actually access a portion of the money they're accumulating for later years and use it in the short run, which makes absolute sense. Also serves as a means by which one could pass down a financial legacy or tax-free intergenerational wealth transfer. I mean, I get to enjoy the money while I'm here, but eventually when I pass away, which was going to happen at some point, right? My family still gets this lump sum and they get it tax free. So passing on wealth from one generation to the other legally, right? And then of course, last but not the least, there's this protection against the insurance companies' insolvency because most of the time the plans are set up with insurance companies and it's a long-term plan. So people may become concerned about, oh, what if the insurance company folds up? Or what if the company vanishes? What happens to my investments and all the money that I have put in it? The good news is that there's a body called Assuris, and Assuris is just like the CDIC. You know, CDIC helps to protect the money you have sitting in the bank up to a maximum of 100K per account. But in the case of the insurance company, Assuris is the one that helps you to protect the money you have sitting with them. And they offer you guarantee up to 90% of what you have sitting down there. So it's not a matter of a fixed amount like the banks. It's about how much money you have. So if you have much money, you have 90% of that secured. So even if the company that holds your investment goes bankrupt, which is very rare to happen because these insurance companies are sitting out on a lot of cash. I mean, almost all of us have one insurance bill or the other. It's either it's car insurance or health insurance or tenancy insurance or home insurance. And we're basically sending them out checks every single month, but it's only when a tragedy happens that they are required to pay back. So you can imagine millions and millions of Canadians sending them checks on a monthly basis. They are definitely very solid when it comes to their financial backing. But even if they encountered a problem and they were to fold up, there is protection against the insurance company's insolvency. Right. So what's there not to love about this plan? So imagine after searching so much and looking for some ways to invest meaningfully in Canada, coming across something with so many benefits. I was like, this sounds too good to be true. Like, why is it not everywhere? Why is it not plastered on all the billboards in town? Like, why is it like top secret? What's going on here? Right? What's the catch? I was a bit skeptical, but then I found out that the plan is actually only pitched to those that are considered wealthy, the affluent people in the society, the cream de la cream of the society. And immigrants may not necessarily fit into this class of people, except you have a lot of money sitting down in your account. They would then say, "Oh, this person is actually so rich. Why not invite them so we can tell them about this?" Right? Little wonder that the rich gets richer because they're exposed to all the good stuff. They get all the good information, all the good opportunities, and before it gets to the normal average people. But trust me, the moment I found this one, I was ready to go on loudspeaker like and share it with everyone that I knew. Like this one that I have found, everybody I know must know that it exists. And basically, that leads us to part three of this interesting story. Please, if you're enjoying this story so far, give me a thumbs up. Before I move to part three of the story, let's quickly take a look at how my plan is doing so far because I set it up for myself and for my family in 2020. So it's been 3 years. And trust me, 3 years later, my plan is giving everything that it is supposed to give. Let me use Generation Z language, right? 3 years later, my plan is given. Right. Let's quickly take a look at what my plan looks like. Basically, this is summary of my coverage, right? You would see my face amount is 750,000. That basically means, God forbid, anything happens to me and I drop dead, $750,000 gets paid to my loved ones and they receive it completely tax free. Like I was saying, 3 years later, my plan is giving. It's giving everything that it's supposed to give. This is the summary. Like I said, my coverage is 750K. God forbid anything happens to me. 750K is paid to my loved ones completely tax free. I personally put in $500 into my plan monthly. That doesn't mean everybody has to put $500 into their plan. People can set up their plan based on their budget and their needs and their goals. So the goal I was trying to achieve is to fund my retirement portion very well so that I can, my mouth is already wide, so I can continue affording my cruises and enjoying my life at retirement. That's why I'm putting in $500 monthly. But if I did $500 contributions for a period of 20 years and the market did an average of 8% per annum, my estimated retirement income is actually $101,000 every single year from age 65 down to age 100. So I'm contributing $6,000 a year and I'm letting compound interest do the magic. And if the market did an average of 8%, I would be accessing about $100,000 throughout my retirement years. And that sounds really cool. And as far as I am concerned, right. And then, so my statement came in. This is my third year statement. Remember, I said I started in 2020. That was when I discovered it. And I was like, this is my most recent statement. You can see it's showing total fund value as at 2023, October 27, right? And you would see right there that during the course of this 1 year period from October 2022 to October 2027, about 2007 of interest was paid into my plan. How many of the investments you have paid out as much as $1,000 in interest? I mean, if you leave your money in the bank, if they're very generous, they give you about 10 cents or 90 cents, say $1, right? But this actually returned about $2,000 in a 12-month period. And also gave me bonuses. Remember I mentioned bonuses? And my bonuses grows bigger as my plan continues to grow bigger. I mean, when I ran the numbers, it was about 18.9, about 19% in interest. And I did projections based on 8%. And that's actually really good. And one of the other things I love about my statement coming is the fact that it is very transparent. I know it's looking crowded right here, but really, every single month, as my money is coming in, my $500, the insurance portion is deducted, which takes care of my life insurance and critical illness coverage, which is a total of $53 as a 34-year-old female that I am right now, right? So that's taken out. And then the balance goes into the market, makes more money. And every single month, I see the money dropping. I mean, not all months are rosy. Some months are good and some months are not so good. But the good months are way better than the bad months. And that's why we ended up with a profit of over $2,000, right? You would see right there in December, the market yielded 967. I mean, my favorite month was in April 2023 when the market returned over $1,000 in a single month. I mean, that is amazing. This is cool passive income. Right, right. And that's basically one of the reasons why I love the plan. It is very transparent. You get your statement, you see exactly how money is going in and coming out of your policy. And it's also flexible, meaning you can change your investment options. You can change it around. It's a must-have for anyone who is looking to actually build some reasonable amount of wealth in this country. Last but not the least, I did check up on my plan yesterday, which was basically 29, and I have accumulated. My current value is at 21,000. I mean, between October and now, it's just 2 months, November and December, and I've contributed 2 more months, right? So at $1,000 of my money has had it. I should be having about 18, 19,000, but I'm on 21,000, meaning we're doing very well, right? So when I say my plan is giving, it is actually giving. Right. So let's get into. So I know some of you are already very excited and you're probably Googling IRP already. Yeah, there are lots of articles. Some are correct, some not so correct. When you want to set this up, it's important that you're working with an expert that knows exactly how it is done, right? So that they can set it up for success. So you need to work with somebody like me or any of my professional colleagues who may have been the one who invited you into this meeting for you to actually get it properly set up. But that's not really the most important part of our gist. We're getting to where we get to work less, earn more, and minimize our taxes, remember? So let's just get into Vicky, I see your hand up. Right, so let's move on to part 3 of our movie.